California. And we are going to explore La Cuesta Encantada. Translation, the Enchanted Hill. This beautiful estate in San Simeon, right here on the central coast of California, was conceived by William Randolph Hearst, the publishing tycoon, and his very talented architect, Julia Morgan. We are going to explore Hearst Castle, La Cuesta Encantada, Spanish for the Enchanted Hill. Hearst Castle, which was the brainchild of William Randolph Hearst, the publishing tycoon, and his architect, Julia Morgan, was built between 1919 and 1947. This 40-acre estate is equipped with 2 swimming pools. The Neptune pool, which was outside, which was conceived from Roman architecture and dedicated to the pagan god Neptune, the god of the sea, and also the Roman pool, which was an interior pool with ornate, gorgeous tile, beautiful Roman-style bathhouse, absolutely immaculate, opulence at its true core, something that only the wealthy would be able to enjoy. And I'm not talking rich folks, I'm talking wealthy. And speaking of wealth, William Randolph Hearst, after the death of George Hearst, who left his fortune to his wife Phoebe Hearst, upon her death, it was William Randolph Hearst that inherited in 1919 some $11 million, the equivalent to $172 million in today's standards. Young Billy was the only child of George and Phoebe Hearst. La Cuesta Encantada, also known as Hearst Castle, is comprised of 4 different buildings. Casa del Mar, which is House of the Sea, Casa del Monte, which is House of the Woods, Casa del Sol, which is House of the Sun, and of course, the big house, which is Casa Grande. We are in the beautiful mansion, the Hearst Castle, which is a sprawling estate filled with some beautiful antiquities, sculptures, textiles, and of course paintings. He loved all sorts of art. He also enjoyed a plethora of paintings. The art collection includes works by Tintoretto. Also, he had beautiful works like the Madonna and Child. And of course, let us not forget his beautiful dining room. Groucho Marx once stated that 10-foot logs could fit in that beautiful fireplace. But if Mr. Hearst did not like you, you were usually located closest to the fireplace that could get a little hot. The likes of Cary Grant, also great actresses like Joan Crawford, and of course, Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, were all members of his court and were invited to enjoy themselves along with Clark Gable and also great musicians of the time. He set a great table for everybody, but he really loved Western sort of food. He was one of those guys that was really proud of having ketchup and mustard on the table. It wasn't Grey Poupon, no, sir. He also had the largest collection of silver in his day, which included all sorts of candle holders and, of course, a scepter that is located right here, right in front of us, with that gorgeous tapestry behind us. An absolutely wonderful home filled with great works of art. It was once said that William Randolph Hearst was actually told by one of his guests, Mr. Hearst, sit at the head of the table. And he exclaimed to him, wherever I sit is the head of the table. In 1903, Hearst married Millicent Veronica Wilson, but soon became disenchanted with her, and Millicent separated from Hearst in the mid-1920s after tiring of his longtime affair with Marion Davies. Marion Davies presented Davies' niece. Her family confirmed that she was Davies and Hearst's daughter in all actuality. Her name was Patricia Lake. A torrid affair, and the hosts of many a party, including Hollywood A-listers.
Anybody recognize that man on the right?
Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, that's Charlie Chaplin. Serenading Miss Morgan. Charlie Chaplin was up here just about every other weekend, most likely. Mr. Hearst, but also a rare glimpse of Julie Morgan on the right. More than a little camera shy. Billy Haynes on the left. And look at some of the zoo animals. Mr. Hearst had one of the largest private zoos in the country in the 1920s and 30s. And all of these animals were up here at one point. That's the castle way in the distance on the hilltop. It almost would have felt like you were going on safari when you came back then. We only have a fraction of the animals left that are doing quite well up here. But Mr. Hearst would have thought it would have been a thrilling experience for you to take your car ride up here and be come upon by various types of animals. And I mentioned some of them are here today. Here's a pretty good example, Roosevelt elk. If you take Highway 1 north to Big Sur, you reach San Corpoforo Creek, look to your right, there's about 120 Roosevelt elk in a herd still here on the property. Also here, Barbary sheep from North Africa. Still doing quite well, not the Impalas. Zebra, pretty famously, just still doing quite well here on the property.
Thank you so much for joining us here at Hearst Castle, where we have shown you the most beautiful estate that I've ever seen in my life. William Randolph Hearst. Spared no expense.